I am very happy for him. Becoming the most productive player in the franchise is a great achievement. It speaks of hard work, dedication, and passion for basketball. His efforts, leadership, and commitment to the team and the city are second to none. I am proud that he stands for our team. These are the words Michael Jordan described Kemba Walker's game for the Hornets. Jordan is a brutal man, so praise from him is worth a lot. The praises from Michael are dated 2018. In those days in the Hornets, Kemba knocked out more than 20 points per game for 4 consecutive seasons and is the sole leader and leader of the franchise, the top scorer. To simplify it completely, the Hornets of the last decade, this is Kemba Walker. Dallas expels Kemba Walker. Milan is close to signing Walker. Ettore Messina. Kemba's move to Milan is just a rumor. Walker has no plans to leave the NBA and hopes to get a contract. Here's a short list of the latest news on the Kemba Walker tag. How did it happen that the Hornets' most productive player is not needed by any team in the league? Hello Pencil Sports, and today you will see the story of the fall of Kemba Walker. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and let's get 1,000 subscribers. It's very important to me. Let's go. From the level of Skywalker at 32, Kemba catapulted to the status of a free agent. Like Luke from the famous movie series, Kemba fought for those who few people bet on winning. Empires in the NBA are created on an ongoing base. Their goal is the championship title, and the Death Star of Obi-Wan and Master Yoda has nothing to do with it. If in a movie, according to the laws of the genre, the main character is beaten half to death and he collects broken teeth with broken hands, at the decisive moment he still wins everyone and everything. Then Walker's task is clearly more difficult. Let's play in the association Kyrie Irving, Brandon Knight, Kemba Walker, Isaiah Thomas. All these guys were selected in the 2011 draft. All of them were deprived of basketball growth by nature, but where something is taken away, something is given in return. According to the level of individual throws, skills, and dribbling, these guys could give odds to most players in the league. Okay, I'm probably overreacting with Brandon Knight. However, Walker has always been a problem for rivals, even if Kemba does not have such an effective set of movements as Kyrie. But his style of play and productivity are no worse than other iconic NBA figures of his time. Darren Williams or, say, Baron Davis. The fall of Walker's stock in the NBA market cannot be called typical. He wasn't a talented jerk. It was his love of the game and his ability to work that Kemba accustomed many to the idea that he was an elite-level player. Judge for yourself. Walker is an NCAA champion, and the University of Connecticut, in gratitude for his services, forever assigned him the 15th number. In 2011, the point guard puts up his candidacy for the draft. There he is, chosen below the titans of basketball thought Derek Williams, Enes Kanter, and Tristan Thompson, but above Clay, Kawhi, and Jimmy Butler. The NBA draft is a strange thing in general. Kemba Walker is the first guy in the village. Kemba is really cool in the no-claims Hornets. Remove Walker and the team will crumble. All such hypotheses had a certain amount of common sense. In 8 years at Charlotte, Walker, he only played in the playoffs twice to immediately fly out in the first round. You're like, okay, what's stellar about it? What's all the fuss about? Tyler Herro has more achievements in the playoffs, and then what? And then the fact that Kemba was the first star of the team of the best basketball league in the world for a long time. He showed cool statistics and became the first star player of the Jordan era at Charlotte. The story of an unwanted player does not cause negativity. This is not a super talented dude who has lost skills and motivation in strip club or in the company of dubious friends from an even more dubious environment. Kemba did not break into the league but grew up to the all-star level gradually. His debut 12 points per game, and then for 3 more years his figures fluctuate at about 17 points. Not many people know, but Walker had to change his throwing technique to reach a new level. In the 2015-2016 season, Coach Bruce Kreutzer, who worked with the basketball player, replaced his jumper. Kemba was not enthusiastic about this case, but the results were not long in coming. It was then that the leader, not Bobcats but Hornets, made a huge step forward from 30% of accurate tres to 37. From 12, then 17 points per game, Kemba gradually added and higher by 20 plus per match. The point guard has really developed, as his figures also show. Yes, you can call Walker a garbage player who stuffed statistics in a weak team, but it wasn't his fault that Charlotte didn't have a decent environment. Kemba has progressed every season, and only a select few like LeBron, Kawhi, and those who are still higher in the NBA hierarchy can influence the politics of an entire organization. Walker came at 21, made a breakthrough at 25, and was already an all-star at 26. Perhaps one of Kemba's mistakes really was the decision not to ask for an exchange earlier. Getting into the head of another person without trepidation is not so easy, but even without surgery, there's an idea that Walker was pleased to be the first guy in the village, and you can get lost in the city. Therefore, with the transition to a large organization, he was still a little late, but you can look at it from a different angle. The prime of Kemba fell on Charlotte. He was devoted to the club and the organization, and this is not often seen in the modern NBA. I don't like the role in the team. The exchange. I'm not satisfied with the coach or the gender exchange. Bad mood, or these days are an exchange. Kemba is not the dough from which conveyor modern NBA cupcakes are baked. However, there is only speculation, but there were also facts, such as injuries. Walker's knee was bowed long before it became mainstream. Walker was plagued by chronic problems with his left knee, which let him down early enough. Kemba was an Iron Man in the super athlete league, without possessing natural physical super resources. He missed few games at Charlotte, but the pain started back in 2015 when he tore the meniscus. But I forced my return and came back pretty quickly. This could have been one of the problems that led to what they eventually led to years later. Walker came back too fast. Problems with his knee did not leave him anymore. Every year, he either had a new operation or used procedures related to it, then to surprise a guy with a height of 183 centimeters, either by high throwing efficiency or of course by speed and timing. Without these qualities, it remains only to breathe into the navel of Boban Marjanovic. The injuries affected Walker's change of direction, mobility, and sharpness. He was more often uncomfortable with jerks and landing. If you have watched the video up to this point, then you still have a thought. And why did you even make a separate video about Walker? He's not a superstar, her legend, or even a unicorn at the very least. Kemba was also underestimated during prime time. That is why Charlotte did not offer Walker the maximum, which unpleasantly shocked the player himself. And here he is a chance. Kemba is 20 years old, and here fate again indirectly connects him with a classmate in the draft, Kyrie Irving. After an unsuccessful 2018-19 season, Irving and Horford are leaving Boston. A place is vacated in the billing and composition, and Kemba goes to the Celtics with a 4-year contract for $141 million. In a big team, Kemba has a chance for something more than a couple of playoff appearances in almost a decade at the Hornets. But here, the Walker medical card comes into the chat. No, his stats remain at a good level, 19-20 points per game, but the matches themselves are becoming many times less. 73 games in Boston's first season. Okay, that's cool, but then only 47 matches, which has never happened to the point guard. You can understand Boston. Let them organize their own club of fans of small defenders from the 2011 draft, but neither Irving nor Walker nor Isaiah Thomas stayed there for a very long time. The Celtics have some cool youngster, and investing in an older guy with a health problem is a so solution. The most disappointing thing is that Boston was really supposed to be a new stage in the development of Walker's career. Perhaps he got there too late and banally spent his not so long prime elsewhere, which was the least suitable for this. We have only occasionally seen that high speed and climbing into any slot point guard to which we are accustomed. Then came the exchange to Oklahoma and the buyout of the contract. The signing with the Knicks, an almost twofold drop in performance in a small number of matches. Then the exchange to the Pistons, who did not even plan to use it. In Detroit, Kemba did not give up a cent because he was not sure that he would receive money from anyone else at all. And hello, unemployment. Of course, there was still a very short period in Dallas, but there were few games there, and the time with the effectiveness was no longer the same. For the role of backup in Doncic, Walker did not fit. I'm Kemba. I'm 32 and I'm unemployed. Walker's history in the NBA should have ended somehow differently, although maybe someone else will sign it. Walker was very close to superstar status, became the top scorer in Hornets history, played at the All-Star game 4 times and had a great career. But there is definitely an understatement left from her. Why did this happen? Knee problems played a role. The move to the Celtics seems to have happened too late when Prime was behind. Charlotte franchise, to which Kemba gave himself completely, did not offer him the maximum, and this also hit Walker. Without mobility and speed, Kemba-type players plummet in price. Against younger and more athletic defenders, his chances only get lower, and playing defense has never been his strong point. I like to watch Kemba's old-school tricks on the parquet floor in places. I liked how he pumped the throw and how he laid out for the Hornets. Skywalker knew that it would be difficult to defeat the crowds of stormtroopers, but he fought anyway. Kemba understood that the first round of the playoffs was the ceiling for Charlotte, but he still left all his strength to get there. Perhaps there were no worthy allies in his entourage. Anyway, Kemba, if no one signs him, will be missed. No, he's definitely not unhappy, and especially not poor. After all, from the same Oklahoma will receive almost $11 $11 million annually until 2026. However, 3 years ago, he signed up for the maximum, and in 2020 he played at the All-Star match. This makes his fall seem even more rapid and premature. And so this is where our issue came to an end. I hope you liked it, and you will definitely like it. Let's get 1,000 subscribers. It's very important to me. Well, Pencil Sports was with you. Good luck to everyone, and bye.